Hello guys, so welcome back, and in today's episode we are doing more stitch. Hope you enjoy the tutorial. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's get started. So those are the materials that I'm going to be using. Then I will start by making a slip knot. So different people make that slip knot in different ways, and this is how I do mine. And yeah, I like it done like that. Let me zoom in. Then you'll start by chaining. You can chain any number depending on the project you're working on. So this is the foundation chain. So for the foundation chain, you can chain any number, because this one is just for the tutorial. I want to show you the specific more stitch. So I'm going to chain a random number, but I'm going to work with it later for another project. So I'm going to chain the number of the project that I'm going to be using. So I will chain the inches of the project, my other projects, and I'm going to be doing 14, 13. So you will do that. You will chain your foundation chain, and you take the measurement if you're working yours for a project. But yeah, this mine was for a project, but I decided to do a tutorial on more stitch. Then you will do a turning chain. After doing the turning chain, you're going to go to the first stitch. Then you're going to do a single crochet like that. Then you chain one, then you skip one stitch, you go to the next, do a single crochet, and for a single crochet you pull through two, then you chain one, you skip one. So more stitch is alternating between a single crochet, chain one, skip one. Then after single crochet we chain one, then we skip one stitch, then to the next stitch we do another single crochet, and you are going to be repeating that until you are done with your row. You're going to be doing that until you're done with your row. You do a single crochet, and you chain one, and that's how it looks like. Skip one to the next, pull through two, chain one, that one is a single crochet, then skip one stitch, then you do a single crochet. So that is most stitch. And you're going to do that until the end of the row, and I'm at the end of the row. That's how my work looks like. Then I will chain one, then turn my work, and in the first stitch, you're going to do a single crochet like that. This is row 2. Then you will, let me zoom out, chain one, then in the open space you're going to be doing a single crochet in the open spaces, then you chain one. So this one is my first open space. Then you're going to do a single crochet, yarn over, pull through two, then you chain one, then to the next open space you're going to be working a single crochet, and you are going to do this repetition of row 2 until you have the appropriate width or length or inches that you want. And this is more stitch. It's very simple. You chain one to the next open space, you do a single crochet. After doing a single crochet, you chain one, and you're going to repeat that until the end of the row. And at the end of the row you will be chaining one, turn your work, then you start with a single crochet. So it's very easy. Hope you are getting whatever I'm trying to show you. So you continue working more stitch until the end of the row, and we will meet. I'm at the end of the row, and I will repeat row 2 until I have appropriate. Let me start row 3. Then you will come first, you do a single crochet, then you chain one, then to the next, the open space, you're going to be doing a single crochet. Like you skip one, chain one, skip one, and to the next you do a single crochet. So the next stitch is the open space. So you chain one, to the next you skip one, the open space, you do a single crochet, and you will be alternating, chain one, like that. You're going to be alternating that, you'll be alternating that row until you have your appropriate width or height, depending on the project that you're working on. So let's meet after I'm done with like 5-6 rows or 2 inches, and you're going to be repeating so that you can see the results after working a multiple rows. And if you have watched this video until this point, don't forget to subscribe. You can leave a comment in the next tutorial you want to see in my channel. Like, comment, and you can support me in any way possible. Thank you for watching until this point, and we're going to be alternating, taking our measurements. Let me do like 2 inches or 4 inches, then I will be back to show you how my moss stitch looks like. Yeah, and this is the result after working 2 inches. This is how my moss stitch looks like. I'm in love with this stitch, and I'm going to try